Hello and welcome to my channel on human design. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Today we're going to be looking at shadow work. So we're going to be looking at what it is to actually be in your experiment. And I'm going to try and give you some ways of catching yourself in the moment. So what we're going to be looking at is the not self, but I want to look at it from the inside this time. So we know the not self is intrusive. It is always inappropriate. It is often an amplification of what you have white in the chart and a combination of the white in the mind that's creating trouble for you. The frequency of the not self. This is something to tune into. And I love saying to people about human design, you know, the truth has a ring to it. You recognize the truth. Well, it's also true to see that there is a ring of untruth that you can also recognize. The frequency of the not self is distorted and it busts into what is not open for its manifestation. It creates waves of dissonance that go out into the area around it, creating reactions from those people that penetrate into the nonsense of what's just been manifested. Another word of that for that would be resistance, but basically there's reactions that come. It's a manifestation that's trying to make itself relevant in the flow of what's already happening when it is not in the flow. I see it as the most common form of violence that takes place every day in the homogenized world, in terms of our relating to others and in terms of our relating to ourselves. It is trying to make something happen, and it's not for it to happen. So I want you to think about the most fundamental message that Ra brought was, what are we? We are witness consciousness, and it's about being the witness. And when you think about being a witness doesn't know what it's going to witness. You know, it sees what happens. It goes into something and then it witnesses. It has no plan to witness anything. I mean, when people first come into human design, they think, okay, I've got the knowledge, I know who I am, you know, I know this and I know that and all the rest of it. And they go into their life and they experience what they're going to experience. They don't know what it is. It's only when you catch yourself in the act that you begin to see that you're not being correct. And I can vaguely remember before I got into human design, there would be these feelings of discomfort, these feelings of awkwardness. You know, when there would be an awkward silence and I'd want to fill it by saying something, by manifesting something, and it was often inappropriate. Remember, we are going to demonstrate the dissonance of the not self mainly through our openness, and that can create all kinds of problems. In terms of the will, when you think about the will, 65% of people are open will people. And I'll be talking in a separate video about that soon. But it's that over push of will that you don't have to actually, whatever it may be, to boast, to shock, to try and promote something at the wrong time to the wrong person. You know, it's like this internal side to manifest, and that's really what you've got to get a handle on. Now, one of the things in human design that all human design people know if they've been in it for a length of time is that they begin to calm down. Think about it. You're here to be a witness. You're not here to create reactions around you, and you're not here to be reactive in that sense either. The generators are here to respond, whether they want to be part of something or not. It's a response. It's not a reaction. Like, you know what? It's like it doesn't fit. It never fits. And you can play that through any way you like in life. You can play it through people overdressing or underdressing. You can see it in terms of the the way they will try too hard, and it'll be an awkwardness where people try to, you know, go along with the not self structure or the not self manifestation that they've created that doesn't fit, you know, especially in polite society. That's the wonderful thing about people that talk straight. They'll go, what the hell are you doing? But, you know, then they get embarrassed, or, you know, all this goes on. So it's really playing in a field of everyone's kind of trying to make their place in the moment without just being themselves. So it's really about you noticing it in yourself in certain situations that you were not expecting, when that awkwardness comes in. And I want you to look at it. I want you to look at it. I want you to take it all in, to recognize that that's not right. So when that begins to come up again at another time, you recognize it before it fully manifests, and you step back. And if you can actually step back, the chances are that not self behavior will leave your life. The longer you're in human design, the lighter you become, because the less resistance you're pushing against. I mean, the not self is very dense. The shadow is very dense. You have to penetrate the denseness in the moment of recognizing that it doesn't fit, that it doesn't work. Otherwise, you're going to be colliding into things, and things are going to be colliding into you. And the whole of life becomes a real unnecessary struggle. Energy and awareness are put into areas and into things that have no relevance to actually who you are. So much time is wasted, so much energy is wasted, so much thought is wasted. I mean, which is energy. You know, the number of people that live just in their heads, it's like the life has to be experienced in the way that is correct for you by you being correct. And then it begins to clear and things get lighter. So working with the shadow will continue. You know, knowing who you are at a human design level does not get you out of trouble. It's the beginning of getting you out of trouble, but you've got to watch it as it happens, and you can't expect it. And so there is a kind of an honesty where, you know, you're having a reaction to something that you've done or haven't done, and you're seeing that, wait a minute, this is not right for me. This doesn't fit with me. And rather than trying to play the game and try to make it fit, realize it's not for you. So there will always be, in working with the shadow, this confrontation in you catching yourself in the moment, and the resoluteness to let it go, and the victory in letting it go. And even more, the victory when you see you're about to do something that you used to do and you don't do it. But you've got to do the work. If you don't do the work, there is no point. If you don't do the work, you're going to study human design for a little while, and then you're going to study something else for a little while, and you're going to keep on going, trying to get more and more information, but not actually utilize it in a way that is unique to you. There are a lot of wonderful things out there right now that people are getting into for their health, for their alignment to a higher frequency. But it's generalized, and the whole point of human design is that it is differentiated, and it's working with your particular differentiation and what you're going to meet because of it. You know, the other side of the gate. You know, you've got a gate in a fixed center. It's always looking at the other gate. Are you playing out the other gate? Are you? Think about it. And if you are, you can see that you're going to overemphasize whatever that gate is, whatever that theme is. So catching yourself in that over-exaggeration, no matter how you might feel about it at the time, to actually perceive it and go, there's a kind of, for me anyway, there's a kind of a perceiving of it, and then a relief that I've actually seen it. And so things begin to drop away through that process. The shadow work is absolutely essential if you're going to get free and see the beauty of the flow of life and the beauty of the flow of the knowledge that reflects it so perfectly. The wonderful thing about human design is that it is transferable. the information can be put out in a way that can be integrated, and you'll see it in yourself. You know that if you're watching this channel. And I would just say, trust that. Trust the knowledge, trust your own process, your own experiment, but there'll be less and less awkwardness as time goes by. And you know that, some of you. So you can see that that gets less and less until you can hardly remember what it was all about anyway. We live through life, we're moving on with our lives in ways, and there is always this development that happens. There is always this growing if you're still alive, if you're in the game, if you know what I mean, the real game, the game of waking up. Okay, that's my bit on shadow work right now. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do like, subscribe, and share this, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.